Okay, so hopefully all nests are set up, and I want you to get yourself into a nice, comfortable position. So you've got a number of different props around you. So I should say that the two bolster that you guys have here, one's a bit thicker than the other one, okay, because there's two different types. One has more filling than the other. So some positions you might prefer one that's got slightly less. So wherever way feels comfortable, you can certainly sit on the floor, cross-legged, legs out in front, butterfly, whatever you want. If you want to sit with your hips higher, which sometimes can be more comfortable, you could be on top of whether it's your blocks, whether on top of your bolster, you could be in hero pose, just whatever. I just want you to get into a comfortable position so that you don't feel like you're having to fidget. Yeah. It's like this is a non-fidgeting class. Okay. So, okay. Lovely, this way, isn't it? Yeah. Let's get into that stuff. Okay. Okay, so get yourself comfortable, and if you have your candle in front of you, so that you're basically sitting in a nice relaxed position, and your gaze as it drops is dropping onto the candle. So I don't want you to feel like your head has to drop towards it. So find the range so that you're in a relatively good postural position. And we're only going to be here for a few minutes, but we're going to use this as a focus. So with that candle, hopefully the flame is mesmerizing. But it's an object that I want you to be curious about. I want you to invest yourself into just focusing on the flame. And whatever thoughts emerge in your mind, let them drift in and let them drift out. Just noticing the colors in the flame. Maybe noticing the colors to the center versus the colors to the outside of the flame. Just watching the movement. Little flickers. This focus. It's a meditation that helps you to bring energy into your third eye. It improves your concentration and it can improve your memory. Breathe in the light of the candle. Breathe out of yourself. Get a sense of purity and clarity infusing into your body and mind as you absorb yourself into the candle. Maybe you notice that some parts of your peripheral vision fade. Maybe even develop no visual awareness of anything but the flame. Only seeing the flame that's in front of you. mental and physical stillness. Bringing no new information in other than you blending with the candle. Very gently, just allow your eyes to blink closed. And then again, as you slowly blink them open, allow your gaze to lift. So we're going to blow out that candle, just to be sure. So I'm going to get you then to come into lying down, and this is going to be setting up your rebound pose that we do in between every pose that we hold. Now this may vary at times, but I want you to lie down maybe to start with on your backs. You can use bolsters, whatever you feel that you would like to use for your head, whether it's pillows or blankets, so that you feel like you've got full support. So a pillow, maybe a bolster underneath the knees. So in terms of you're finding the most comfortable position that you can. And if you feel that there is maybe a little chill for you, then you can certainly pop a blanket over you as well. But to set the scene going forwards, within Yin Yoga, we don't strive, we don't push, we don't force. And at any point, if you feel anything through any of the poses that feel sharp or uncomfortable in that way, you need to pull back or come into your rebound. We can modify in a number of ways so that hopefully you can stay within, but anything that feels not good in the body, that's not where you belong. And in our level of challenge that you would like to set as your intention for tonight. If 10 is the biggest challenge on a stretch that you could imagine, ouch. We're aiming as a maximum as a 7 out of 10, and that's on your own personal scale. But you might know your body, and that if you push stretches too far, whether the body, the muscles, the joints, if they're not happy with that, then you pull it back to maybe even a 4 or a 5. You're in charge of your body. And alongside that, you're in charge of your mind. So as you're the observer of your mind, I want you to be aware of the thoughts and the feelings that may come in through our poses. I want you to sit back in your mind's eye so that you observe what goes on inside your mind. And always remember that you are not your thoughts. They do not define you, they are separate. And to be with yourself and to notice the thoughts that come in. Maybe there's a busyness in your mind, or there's anxieties that might appear. But if you can bring yourself back into this room, back into your yoga nest, and Remove anything that's in the past, remove anything that's to come. I'm going to aim to let go of these thoughts through focusing on your body. Coming in with the concept of opposites in your emotional body. So if any thoughts feel dark, can you bring that in to think of light? If you feel any sensations of feeling stressed, can you experience calm? So with our physical body and our intention of our number for pressing into our poses to support us while we're there, our intention in the emotional sense and the mental sense is to focus in on the third chakra. So the color of this one is yellow. It's the solar plexus chakra, and it's known as Manipura, the city of gems. And it's found just above your navel, but below your heart. It is your continuous source of power, of self-confidence, of sight and success. And it also enables us to be cheerful and joyful and stimulated. But like all of the chakras, it can become blocked. And a blocked solar plexus can lead you to feel a lack of direction or struggle with decision making. Stresses and traumas can leave you unable to express your feelings and ideas and your thoughts. So we want to break through from that so you find your own personal sense of power to bring it back to you. The chakra holds your personal power, your self-confidence, and your self-worth. Just take a little moment to notice how you're feeling at this moment in time, physically and mentally. And taking a snapshot of that so that we can reflect as we come to the end. Slowly, we're going to bring you up for the first pose. And this is going to be taking it into the Vajra Mudra. So we're going to bring you up into a comfortable seat again. So, as usual, any way to come up that's graceful. As graceful as we can. So in terms of setting it up, it's like a C that we're setting up with the mudra. So we're going to draw the index finger to the thumb. Okay, I know I've got the lights down low, you guys, I'm hoping you can see it, but index finger to the thumb, you know, like you're making those funny eyes. So you're bringing them together and then you're touching both fingers and thumbs together. The longest finger is touching, so you're making that kind of shape, but the last two fingers are curling in. And once we have that, we're going to set that towards the solar plexus. So it's like it's pointing forwards, it's shining out from you. That's it, yeah, Kristen, that's the one, yeah. So once you're here, it's above the belly button, but below the level of your heart. And it's not like you're jamming them closed, you're just connecting. You're creating that seal. And as you're here, if it feels comfortable to you, you can allow your eyes to close, or you can just lower your gaze to the mat. Allowing yourself to relax, to let go of the legs, to let go of any tension through the arms and the shoulders, to let go of any tension through the neck, through the head. So the weight of your body is pouring down into your nest. The same as a diamond, and it directs breath and energy into your third chakra. Your inner jewel guides you to live with true purpose. And this jewel that's inside can give you a shining visual and a feeling of light, a sparkling radiance within your center. It brings balance to the fire element to help you gently glow with your inner light, to realize the vision for your life, supporting the unfolding of all of one's unique talents and abilities. And it can aid your digestive fire. Allowing the breath to be smooth in and out. And to slowly release with the hands. And just to let them rest onto the legs or into the lap. Again, just noticing how you feel in your body, in your mind, and in your emotions. I want you to notice that that light is inside you. It's always there. And it can grow to shine so bright inside you. So we're going to bring you into your first pose. So to set this one up, we're going to bring you into easy pose, but you have an option with this one of doing shoelace. Okay. Now with this, the options, if you feel like you're quite tight in your hips, you might want to stay up on a raised surface, whether that's the blocks, a bolster, or a cushion. But we're going to bring you to sit down. Again, any choice of height. But I'm going to go with narrow knees, or like feet crossing one another, so it's as tight into that cross-legged position as you can. And again, it's easier if you're sitting higher, if that feels like that's a stressor in your body, to go further. So, and I'm certainly not a shining example of being able to get as far as you can. My hips don't work that way, but if you feel like you can get your legs even further crossed, you take them to wherever your range is. Now, as we're here, to be able to fully relax the body, you may need a bolster, something that you're going to be able to stack up, that you're going to be able to rest the head on. And the arms are going to rest just wherever they feel comfortable. And normally with the in, we're going to aim to have the palms upwards. So whether they're resting on your knees, on the floor. So draw yourself in, and this is where it's getting to find out, like, what do you need to adjust? So you might have to stack up a pillar. So if it feels like you can sit much further forward, well, then you might have it much further away. If you feel like you can fold even deeper, you might just be using blocks and a pillow. So it's making a platform to whatever height that you need to bring the target area into your hips, okay? And it's those outer hips that you're maybe going to feel something into. So whatever depth you need to go at, you're adjusting, and remember your number that you set for yourself. Am I aiming for a 7, or am I aiming more for a 4 or a 5, somewhere in between? And knowing with our poses that at any time, I know I said I wanted stillness, but if you need to adjust, to pull back, if it feels like the sensation grows to a point that it just does not feel comfortable to you, that you can stay with, then you can pull back. But similarly, if you feel like you settle into this position and you feel that as you release that you can go further, then you can. So do you feel like you want to blocks underneath this?
So are they supposed to be going?
So it's trying to let them relax, and again, that will just be dictated by what position you can get into. So in which case, then you'll adjust by using the toggle.
Yeah. But it's here, we're looking.
Yeah, so outer hips. So we're in this pose. What should I tell you? We're here for 6 minutes. We're already a minute in. That's where with this as a position, the narrower you go with your feet, the stronger, the tighter it makes it. If that's not comfortable, you can go wider. You can find that point where you know the challenge is right for you. As we enter into this first pose, establishing how your body feels is so important as we come in. It's the physical challenge at your intended level to reach those target tissues. And then your mind takes over. Those thoughts will drift in and drift away. You're observing what comes and goes. Any thoughts that come in and are dark, remember our focus is to find your light. Every pose has a different frequency for everyone. If your third chakra is unbalanced, you may feel a reaction, and for one person to another, it may invoke a fidgety stress response. For others, you may be able to really let go. Knowing that the supports that you're using are there to help you find this full release. And at any point, if you feel that you don't feel supported, you maybe need other supports in there to cuddle you in this position, to stop you from potentially moving deeper when it's not going to fit well with you. Take a deep breath in. And as you release the out breath, slowly start to draw yourself up. And we're going to bring you into your first rebind. So again, drawing yourself into, maybe that's the position lying on your back. And I should mention that depending for you, you might feel like you're about 90 when you come out of some of these positions. So just move slowly with the body to unfold and uncurl to find where you need to be. So to let yourselves lie down, again, whether you need pillows or bolsters, to let the body go. We know that after we've held positions, that sometimes we can feel a stiffness, we can feel a sensation. That might ease quite quickly, it might grow a little bit even as we've released. But again, you're the observer, just noticing the signals that are running through your body. Noticing your thoughts and your emotions. Maybe even picking up on a sense of the energy that's in your body. Slowly, we're going to bring you up into your second side. So it's knowing that your position may be similar, or it could be quite different depending on whether this is your tighter side or not, if you already know that. So just have whatever props that you need again. So which leg was in front? I'm hoping you noticed. Sorry, I didn't prompt, but whichever leg was in front, can we switch them? Yeah. So if you're not sure, it's whatever your first side was probably that you went into. So you've got that opposite side, whether you're tight with the cross or whether you're loose with it. And again, set it up. Do you need any extra props if it feels like you're in that cross-legged position and you definitely don't want to drop deeper? You can put blocks to stop the legs from dropping. And certainly whatever other blocks that you need to maybe stop yourself from drifting in. But again, set it up, find your position, bringing yourself up to your intention. What level? Picking up on how this side feels. Adjusting when you need to, but trying to battle any sense of just trying to escape. Try to be with the pose. For a new beginning. In out of the way places of the heart, where your thoughts never think to wander. This beginning has been quietly forming, waiting until you were ready to emerge. For a long time, it has watched your desire, feeling the emptiness growing inside you. Noticing how you willed yourself on, still unable to leave what you had outgrown. It watched you play with the seduction of safety and the grey promises that sameness whispered. Heard the waves of turmoil rise and relent. Wondered, would you always live like this? Then the delight when your courage kindled and out you stepped onto new ground. Your eyes young again with energy and dream, a path of plenitude opening before you. Though your destination is not yet clear, you can trust the promise of this opening. Unfurl yourself into the grace of beginning that is at one with your life's desire. Awaken your spirit to adventure. Hold nothing back. Learn to find ease in risk. Soon you will be home in a new rhythm. For your soul senses the world that awaits you. Check in with yourself to see how do the body and mind feel. comparable on this second side. So slowly, starting to draw yourself up and bringing yourselves into the rebound again. So to find that comfortable position, using supports as and where you need again. And to experience the rebound on this second side. Do the sensations diminish quickly, or do you notice any changes? Observing any information that your body has to give you. Noticing again what's visiting in the mind. Are any emotions coming to the fore with that pose? Also checking in with how the energy in your body is feeling. And slowly, I'm going to start to draw you up to create the next pose. So we have a sideline banana asana. I know you like banana asana. This is a variation. So whenever I do it, I definitely feel like I'm 90 after. So with this variation, so the suggestion is to use maybe a bolster, maybe with a pillow on top. We need to create enough of a softer shelf that you're going to be kind of sideways over. So I would have that down. It's about my lower ribs, and then I'm over the top of it, and my two arms are up. But I might need a pillow for my head. My head is going to drape down, so I'm creating that kind of that curve. So when I'm in that position, so you can see on screen, so I would be putting that underneath the side ribs. I'm lying down. My legs are long and straight if I can. But I can play with my legs so that I feel stable. So I might find that the bottom leg needs to bend a little bit. I'm mostly hip stacked. I'm mostly long with my arms. But again, that's going to be dictated by the comfort of the position. So finding if you need a pillow for the head, but you might find that one bolster might not be enough. Okay. So if you don't really feel too much in the top side of your body, then you might need to put a pillow. You know, whenever I do this, I would have two pillows on top of the bolster.
Really?
Yeah, but again, everybody's different. So it should feel like it's underneath those lower ribs, slightly onto the waist, okay? But it's enough that as you go over that you feel like your top side ribs really open into that side bend. And again with the legs, and you might need a blanket on top of the pillow, yeah, so you can play with it. Or, and again, do you need something between your bottom arm for your head? But the legs might be, the bottom leg slightly bent, it might be slightly behind. So it's, yeah, whatever works in terms of setting it up. But the target area is to feel a side opening on the top side of the body. So the bigger the curve underneath you, the bigger the curve on the top of the body. But it should feel like it's opening your whole side ribs. And if you feel like you're not quite there, you can let me know and I can come over and maybe give you an adjustment to see where we need to go. So again, with this pose, we're going to be here for 6 minutes. If the arm overhead isn't comfortable, it can come slightly in front of the body. And again, you might want to have, like, whether it's a support for it, but it's figuring out, do I get enough of the side bend? Can I allow my body to arc over the surface below? And I feel like the ribs on the top of my body are moving up and over my shoulder while my waist is melting down the other side. What can I let go of here? This is a little bit more of a challenging position if we set that number high. To let the body fold, to open up the side of the ribs, to open up this side around the solar plexus. Notice how this feels physically in the body. The more I relax, does this level feel like it's still living to my intention? The light from that jewel inside is shining open through our side ribs. What more can I let go of? Let go of my legs. Can I let the weight of my pelvis melt heavier towards the floor? I allow the weight of the arms and the head and the shoulders again to melt heavier towards the floor. Allowing the side waist, ribs to fan open. The underside of the waist to soften. Slowly, just allowing the body to draw in to find that rebound position. So whether if you feel that you want to keep bolster towards the hips and lying your tummy, whether you want to come onto your side, whether you want to move it to come onto your back. Find what feels like it's the release that your body needs to uncurl from that position.
For that one.
Again, exploring how you feel as you've come out of that position. Noticing any signals within your body. Not making any judgment on them, but just noticing. Sense of that physical response, but also that mental response. And from one pose to the next, again, that emotional release can be different for everyone, for every pose. And noticing where your energy feels like it's at. Now slowly, we're going to set you up for your second side. So again, you'll have a better idea now of what height. But you might also know that maybe you're tighter on one side of your back than the other. So explore and find feels like it's appropriate for this side. And again, that sense that you're folding over that curve below, finding whether the legs can be straight, whether the bottom one needs to bend, whether the top leg is in front or maybe behind. I need a support for the head to make sure that it doesn't feel like it's just dangling in free air. And as you settle in, a chatter that goes on inside the mind, when you're able to be still, does this feel like it's a suitable level, aiming towards your intention? Are you able to let go of the legs? The head, the shoulders, the arms. Noticing the sensation in those upper ribs, the upper waist. That opening, again, allowing the light from inside to shine out. And so begins the season of letting go. When Mother Nature shows us all how it's done. Let go, free yourself, shake it off, drop it, and give way for the new. Create space for new thoughts, new ideas, new adventures, and new connections. By shedding the dead weight you've been carrying around for so long. And whilst you're there, being reborn and renewed, let go of old anxieties too. Let go of any doubts, fears, or beliefs which no longer serve you well. Release bitterness or past hurts which feast on your beauty. Be brave. Don't fear the nakedness as your leaves slip away. Mother Nature doesn't. So we should watch and learn. Checking in with how the body is feeling. A comparable from first to second side. that slow draw into your rebind. Again, find that comfortable rebind pose. So wherever you're resting, just checking in with yourself to notice that immediate physical sense. How does this compare? As you relax and let go here, noticing the chatter again in your mind. Maybe checking in with the emotions. Has it brought anything to light? Checking in with your energy through the body. Any change? And slowly, I'm going to start to bring you into your next pose. You're going to have to get really comfortable on this one. We're going to be here for a while. Now we do have a couple of switches in the middle to change sides, but we're coming into dragonfly. Okay, so we need wide legs on this one. But you're in charge, you're in total control as to how wide you go. So the variations that we're going to come through. So if we're coming just as wide as your legs are willing to go, and if that feels like yes, you want to go wider than the mat will allow, then you can turn yourself side on. So as wide, I'm very straight with them. It's very straight with them.
Really sorry.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. Funny pregnancies. Okay, so we're going to draw you into dragonfly. So it's wide leg position. If you feel in this position that your pelvis kind of slumps back a little bit, so that's where the likes of maybe the blanket or even one of the blocks, you can sit on it as if you're almost tipping off the edge of it. If the block feels too high, then put like a little pillow or something below, so you just feel like you're tipping off. So it's going to try to get the pelvis sitting as upright as you can. And then from here, the dragonfly, the first position, is going to be finding, again, how far into this. So I'm hinging at the hips first, and then my back and right. So I might be on that height again with a high bolster. If I can get lower, I might be, again, with a few things stacked up, and I might be resting my head down onto my arms. Whatever depth that you feel, so Kristen, don't feel like you have to stay upright. If you feel like you can fold deeper, then let yourself go to whatever depth that you feel you can. But as long as wherever you get, your head is supported and you feel like your body is supported. When we're ready to change, we're going to be changing into a big side lean. So again, this sense of trying to really open around where this chakra is. So this is opening the back and then it's opening up into the side. So there will be an adjustment, but the legs are going to be here for quite some time. Okay. So it sounds like a threat almost. It is. Hopefully you find your intentional level. So bring yourself in that first position, that fold forwards, to find where your depth is. And if you need anything else, let me know. And this is one of those positions, if you feel that you want extra weight to help you bed down, you could use, whether it's a bolster on each thigh, or I can pop a sandbag on your shoulders.
Sandbag, please.
There we go.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Sometimes, again, the props can help stop you falling deeper. Sometimes they can help to press you deeper. Sometimes they just help to anchor you in. Is that okay? Do you want one? I mean, do you want one? Sure. Yeah. There's things we can place them in, and if you don't like it, we can take it off. Those things in there. Getting a sense of letting go. So in the legs, trying to let go through the hips. Letting go of the arms. It feels like you're striving forward, almost like trying to pull yourself up. Can you let them go? Can you allow the weight of the body to help drift forward? We may be finding with this, there's a few target areas. So it may be the inner thighs, it may be the back of the thighs, it may be your back. Be true to your intention. The level that you set to try to be still with it. But if the chatter inside grows to high volume, adjust. If you feel that need to go deeper, again, adjust. We're going to slowly start to move to our first side. So we're going to bring you to the right. So with whatever supports that you have in front, can you stay with where you are and maybe adjust, bring them over with you? So that might mean, again, restacking. It might be putting something on the leg or alongside the leg. If some like move, I can adjust. If you want them on or if you want them off again, we can adjust. But finding that support in the side body. But enough that you feel like you're bringing that target area into the side of the back. Or a little bit more.
This direction or that way.
So it's a little bit of a combination of like forwards and sideways.
Right.
Yeah. Again, trying not to strive in this position, just trying like a rag doll, almost trying to let the body bring a little bit more side, so almost letting sense more of this arm feels against rest on the top of the knot. So experiencing a little more length up through the back on that side, but that lean towards one leg is going to bring that deeper sensation into that leg. But can I melt around this? Can I melt the hips down into my nest? Feeling that connection to the ground below. I feel that opening up through one side of my back, my side body. Noticing how different parts of your body feel here. Maybe some parts are holding on, but some parts are finding it easier to let go. And very slowly, we're going to see if we can allow the body to slowly drift to the other side. So this is going to be one of the dots on the door. We're going to try to find the light. just that comparison. How these two sides compare with one another. And how the legs are feeling. And you're your own observer, you're sitting back, just watching everything that unfolds in the body and in your mind. What is coming to light? It may be that when we no longer know what to do, we have come to our real work. And that when we no longer know which way to go, we have come to our real journey. The mind that is not baffled is not employed. The impeded stream is the one that sinks. What else can you let go of? You be that rag doll. That slow, that super slow draw up. And again, you can choose where the body wants to find its mind. If you feel like you need a counter pose or just generally need a hug after that, slowly draw the legs in. And again, find that position where we're going to be able to rest for that rebound and begin to explore what unfolds. Where we find that ease, that rest, that calm. Noticing any changes again in the body, the physical, the mental. Any emotions that maybe have been drawn up. Any change in your energy. And slowly, we're going to draw you up for our next pose. So, move about your knees and see if we need to adapt. But we're going to come into half saddle. Half saddle is, for most people, it's a challenging position. So you have a few different options, okay? I'll show you the full position first, and then I'll show you the modifications. So just depending on where you feel like you are, if this position looks familiar to you. But we're going to have one leg out in front. The other knee is bent knee in front of the hip. And my foot can either be tucked under, or it can be out to the side, okay? Now from here, if I start to drift back, my knee's going to come with me, so I might need to adjust the foot as I go back, and maybe that's where I go. But in yin, we're not putting effort into it, so I need to have something set up behind me, so I might need a bit of a slope set up so that it's going to stop me from going deeper. But if I'm able to go to the floor, I can be here as long as I'm not like big banana back. So that's where I might need the likes of the sandbag on the hips. I might, if I feel like that knee is popping up a lot, I might put the sandbag on the thigh. It's much stronger to put it towards the knee. But again, you might be, if it even feels like there's not a platform high enough for me, you're going to have pillows and things that set up, and you might be against the wall, okay? So it's trying to figure out what depth, and that might be your little tester of setting it up to see, well, how far does it feel like that starts to get to when it goes beyond your intentional level, and then we prop everything up else around you, okay? So it's paying attention to knees and things as well here, and if it's sore, then we adapt it to sideline position, okay? So this one is generally a bit more of a challenge because some yin poses, like you settle in, you ease. I think this one's a grower. So you might aim high and then feel like you have to backtrack. But again, find your level. Don't go mad.
No.
Yeah. So draw yourselves in, and again, this one, oh, it's a 6-minute. So find where you need to be. So if you feel like your back is arching up, even if you're on a bit of a slope, you could use a sandbag across the hips or on the thigh. And again, it's whether you have to draw that foot up a little bit more with you. And because we're doing single leg, we're going to twist. Okay, that's going to be inevitable. Okay.
Should it be as tight or?
So it can be wherever it feels like it sets, and that's where if it feels like, oh, it feels like it's too tight, you can draw it in and under. And that's where, like, even as you set yourself up in position, when you pull the foot back and you lie back, you might feel like, oh, I just need to have a sense of length through my knee. So that's that internal sense of lengthening to see, can I find length in my back and length through my knee? And then can you support yourself from there? So whether that's bolsters, let's see what else do we
Once you undown, once you get laid down, what we start like this. Just kind
the clock has started.
Yeah. That's probably 6 minutes, right?
This is when you know some poses the time, even 6 minutes goes quite quickly. Already you can feel the energy in the room is a bit different. So it's finding that level.
No, I'm not okay about it. That was a quick bunch.
Stop laughing.
So it's finding that level, and I have to give the option. So if anybody is lying flat in this position, the other option is you can also take your arms up. So it's just if you're lying flat. If you're on any supports behind you, just allow them to stay down, because then the arms will be kind of hanging in the air. So it's finding, again, where you can be as non-fidgety as possible in this one. This is where stillness is harder to apply. Yeah. So some poses will conjure up a different type of energy. This one is opening up the front line of the body, and very often that can conjure up the hips, the front line, the hip flexors. It can release a lot of energy, and they can be harder to be with. But this is where you're in control of the mind. You're watching those thoughts, those judgments, those negative thoughts possibly that are coming in with this pose. But again, you can find a way in your mind to deal with those. This isn't permanent. Thank goodness. How do you settle that rising energy inside? What can you let go of? The other leg, the arms, the weight of the head. Allowing the heart to feel heavy where it rests. Allowing the hips to feel heavy. Remembering those opposites, of whatever thoughts or feelings or emotions are coming through your mind, at whatever pace. Can I slow them? Can I find that opening light? Can I find calm? Now very slowly, we're going to bring you straight into a change of sides. So whether that feels like you need to roll away from that leg to allow it to free, or if you're able to uncurl it, again, remembering you might have aged on that one. So again, take your time, and if you know this second side is tighter or if the knee isn't happy, you might have to come up a little bit higher on this side to let yourself drift in. But again, go slow. Find that foot position that works. Is it out to the side? Is it drawn under? And your two sides again could be very different.
That was just not wanting to go down. Yeah, that lights. Props back up. Don't push it.
Your mountain has fallen.
No. That was one of the ones she was really scared to come out of.
So again, recognizing the initial differences between these two sides. Noticing the energy here. Finding that laid back observation of what's going on in the body and those changes of energy, those changes of judgment about this pose. Again, you're just observing, you're checking in with all of these thoughts, these discussions that go on in our own minds. Pay attention to only what is relevant to keep you in this moment. It's like we use that focus on the flame to draw your attention, your deep intention, to one focus point. Let go of the other leg. Let go of my shoulders and my arms. Let go of the weight of the head. Letting the heart rest heavy. Letting my hips sink and melt down. Truth in me. I have no desire to fit in. No plans to walk with the crowd. I have my own mind, heart, and soul. I am me. I it has taken me years to realize how important that is. To be me. So again, as slowly as you need to move, whether rolling away from that bent leg or unfurling it from underneath, to draw yourself into your rebound pose. And again, finding whatever position helps you to release from that. Those sensations, maybe they deepen the longer you are in, maybe. It can sometimes be changeable. It can grow from one area to another. And even as you withdraw from that pose, again, it can sometimes leave something lingering in the body for a while. Allow yourself to find that rested position, to explore. Does the release feel like it's a release, or is there still an energy moving through your body? Slowly, again, we're going to draw you up into your next pose. This one's going to feel a little shorter than the others so far. It's only 5 minutes. So we're going to need your belt for this one, okay? And with this, again, it's a supported bridge. So it's, if you imagine Sphinx pose, but we're lying back, as opposed to in Sphinx pose, you would be lifting the chest up. So that if you imagine that position in Sphinx, but you're flipped over, yeah? So what we're essentially going to get is, whether it's with maybe 2 bolsters end to end to lie on, and it would, again, it will depend, but I would recommend a thicker bolster around the back. So if you don't have bolsters, this is where you're going to be propped up maybe on pillows or rolled up towels or blankets. But you're trying to get the whole of the body up onto that raised surface. And we're going to tie your legs together.
So great.
But essentially the position, I might borrow that one. I'm going to be in such a position, I'm going to go this way, that my 2 legs are going to be on top. And I want to be, I'm not going to set myself on fire. As I lean back, I want my shoulder blades to be able to connect to the floor. You can feel the heat. So I want to find where I can get my shoulders to nestle up. And that's where it's a bridge position. but my two legs are on. I don't have to be thinking about keeping my legs together, and that's what we're going to use the belt to support the legs together. And I can rest my arms down by my side when I'm here or out to the side, okay? But it should feel like it's opening up the chest. It's pressing the prominent ribs up towards the ceiling. So if it feels like there's too much weight on the shoulders, then that also might feel like it's not giving you the bend, if you like, around that area of the solar plexus. Now, if you bring yourself up there, and if you feel like, yeah, my legs feel completely stable on here, then you don't need the belt. But if you feel like you feel unstable, and if you're totally relaxed that your legs are going to slip off the bolsters, then yes, you need to have the belt around you.
Not only the legs, but the body. Thank you.
Hello. So it's finding that support. So it does feel like there is a good support so that your shoulders will reach the floor. So I'm going to move your bolsters if you want or have that. Okay, I want you to get your shoulder lifted top of your shoulders onto your feet like this.
That's basically hungry.
Yeah, because you're on the floor. So with this one, it should feel like it is opening up the ribs. If you feel like the head position isn't easing, that's when you will need a pillow. Because this is, as much as when you lean back, it might feel like it opens up the front of the throat. But that's where I want you to feel like when your shoulder blades are connected to the mat, it's like you're in your shoulder bridge. So your shoulders are there, the neck is long, but you're supported. If it feels like the head is draping and it's not supported, then that's where you will need a pillow. Okay. So, yes, I want your shoulders off. So, you let your triceps get little things first. Put your hand higher. What's happening? Are you guys okay?
Yes, looks like a French. Yeah.
You said relaxing. I just want the legs. Oh, no, it's okay. I want you to relax around.
Oh, Jesus! Break.
So she feel like it's opening here. Yeah. Rather than it being so much about the head off.
Oh my gosh. That's like chest.
That's easier.
Look at that, 3 arms up, yeah.
So yes, you can have them out to the side, you can have them down by your side. So wherever the arms feel, like maybe that ice around or maybe down by your sides. But it is important to make sure that your shoulders are on the floor, because otherwise it puts a lot of pressure on the head. a lot of pressure on the neck. So it's making sure you feel like your shoulder blades, the top of the blades have a connection to the floor so that you're in almost like a straight line from the shoulder blades up through the neck, as opposed to hanging back through the head. But it's giving you, if you imagine that Sphinx position, that lift of the ribs, normally we're pressing them into the floor as the upper body rises up. So we have the upper body almost kind of reaching the chest bone to the ceiling as the body curves back off the bolsters. The hope is that it's opening you through those ribs on the front. It's opening the chest. Relaxing through the rest of the body. The legs, the arms. And it's opening up that solar plexus. It's opening up that flame inside. Take a deep breath in. Let the breath release. And that slow release. Maybe it's bending the knees, maybe it's that slow roll over to the side, but allowing the knees still to bend as you draw off from that chest opener. And we're going to find our way into our rebound again. It's a challenging thing. It's really good to get to here. And that's where then we needed you further back. So that it's like the upper back is resting and the lift is happening in the air. So again, draw yourself into your rebound wherever it feels that you can settle. Again, discovering what the body is feeling after. A change in energy. slowly, we're going to start to bring you into your final pose. So we're going to bring it in to either a simple twist or twisted roots. So with this, we're going to be starting with your body in side lying. So in a side lying position, I'm making that chair, so my knees are level with my hips and my lower legs are underneath my knees. And my two arms are in front, so I might need a pillow for my head. And then I'm going to see where can I allow my ribs, my chest to open. So if I'm going to be back here, my arms flailing, I need to have like blocks or bolster to support the arm in this position, because I don't want it to feel like it's a shoulder, like it's going to put a lot of pressure on that. You might need a sandbag here as well. So depending on how far you get, you might also need a weight or a sandbag or a bolster on the legs or like some pillows. So I'm trying to get the twist from my ribs to get my shoulders towards the floor. So if you're particularly twisty, twisted roots is across of the legs, whichever way, but normally it's the top leg over the bottom, so that it's going to anchor you down. So if you know that you're, I can just get halfway on that. If you feel like, yeah, I could get all the way to the floor on the simple twist, then you want to go with the twisted roots. So it's like you're crossing and like linking the legs all the way around. So it's like eagle legs. Okay. So bring yourself onto your side. We're going to go with the right side lying first of all. Okay, so they have you all the same way. So right side lying. Okay. So you'll get yourself onto your side. So again, you can choose whether you set up the simple one first. So my knees are level with my hips, so that it gives me a better anchor. So so my knees are up level with my hips. My feet are below my knees. And I'm sideline with the bottom arm out in front. And then I'm going to open. And as I open, I'm trying to twist from my rib cage. If there's anything in the way. So again, this is not about the arm, it's about the twist through the ribs. And if I feel that my arm is in the air, then this is where I need to find. Maybe it's a pillow, a bolster to set underneath that shoulder to support the arm.
That would be good, actually.
Okay. Through that.
So again, whatever the level of twist here, and we'll keep that focus around the ribs.
That's okay. She just this week. I just- Okay.
So with whatever props you're using to help secure the legs, to help secure the chest and the shoulder open, and then to support the arm wherever it gets to if it's not on the floor. Breathing easy in this pose, breathing slow, breathing steady. Letting go of the neck and the head. Letting go through the rib cage. Very slowly. We're going to start to draw you into your second side. So you can slowly release any weights at the shoulder, release anything at the legs, and we're going to be taking you straight over onto that second side. So take your time as you move. If you feel like you need a little counter pose in between, you can take one. But otherwise, as you're setting up on that second side, so again, the knees are up level with the hips. The heels are underneath the knees, so you're sitting in that kind of right angle with the legs. Then as the arm starts to move back, can I feel that rotation from the rib cage? And as the ribs rotate, am I able to allow the arms to rest open? And again, once I get there, so if I know that I needed that boost from the legs before, can I pop it in there? If I know that I needed that weight across the shoulders, again, can I soft that up? Use the joys of soft. New air. Imagine if the moon refused to shine because the sun was shinier. If streams ceased to flow because the rivers were flowier. If if snow didn't dare to fall, because rain was foliar. If plants did not glow, if planets did not glow, because stars were glowier. What a world it would be if nature compared. If flowers didn't flower, because their neighbours were flowerier. You, my friend, must stop all that folly. No one can be more you. You are you-ier. Nice, slowly releasing any bolsters or supports that you're using on the body. And bring yourself into this final Shavasana. Just rebound from that pose to find your resting position. To use whatever supports, blankets, anything you need. Noticing how the body feels coming out from those twists. Experience that both sides have that comparable feeling. Noticing where you're at, how that physical body is feeling within you. Noticing the mental narrative in your mind. Noticing your emotions. Noticing where your energy levels are. And if we can cast your mind back to when you first lay down. Has there been a change? Has there been a change with this journey to ignite your inner glow? To focus your mind's eye in and around your solar plexus, that jewel inside, that inner jewel shining bright. Is it shining brighter? Almost with every breath that you take, it starts to shine a little bit brighter again. Each in-breath, the brightness rises. Each out-breath, it slightly dulls. Again, with each in-breath, it's shining a little brighter inside. And it extends out from the solar plexus to every surrounding cell in your body. That flowing glow, ebbing and flowing. Extending out through every organ, extending out through every part of the body. Creating a glow around the body as it permeates through every cell and out through the skin. And your glow is starting to fill into the space around you. Going ever wider with the spread of your glow. Till you feel that glow reaching to every corner of the room, filling your space with light. Let your glow shine through. Slowly allowing your eyes to gently open. Starting to draw your legs in towards you. Maybe rolling onto your side, your preference of side. Just taking this last little moment. And then very slowly starting to press the body, draw up into a comfortable seat.
I just think I sit comfortable after that.
hands onto your heart center. So hopefully you feel okay from that, but I'm hoping that you feel like everything from inside is just shining that little bit brighter. Namaste. Namaste. So just take your time. So very slowly, so you guys at home, it's up to you if you tidy your nests or not. You can leave it till tomorrow if you choose. But hopefully, yeah, you find that nice and relaxing. So you guys in here, just again, take your time, but if you can start to pack away all the things in your nest, and if you know where things belong, great. If not, I'll let you know.
Thank you.
Shining bright.
Glowing.
That was good. I mean, that was the intention.
You still recording?
You wanted to say something? Okay, so hopefully that that felt good.